Good morning, everybody. Welcome to pre-market update. It will be a quick video today. You can see Nasdaq futures are now, they were in the buy zone. So you can see now we are planning to go higher. If we come back again in this zone, look to buy. Now let's look at daily chart to kind of see where we are going and my targets. This is Nasdaq futures. You can see finding support on this 20 moving average, trying to bounce. However, if I go to NDX, now there are two alternative scenarios. They can go fill this gap first, the top gap, and then come back down to fill the bottom gap. So it is quite possible they could go from here, fill this gap, and then come back to fill this bottom gap, or they're gonna go to fill this bottom gap, which is my preferred scenario, and then they will try to rally to fill this top gap. Okay, I don't know which one will play, but there are gap at the top, gap at the bottom, both will be filled. Okay, but I just don't know which one will fill at what time. Also, there are more gaps to the downside, but for today, let's just focus on these two gaps. So Nasdaq could drop from where we closed yesterday about 1.2%, and that will be a good entry to go long. And they can still drop it lower if they want, but I think that would be a good entry for you to, that would be a nice back test and then go higher from here. Okay, same story on SPX. SPX gap is right below 67.46. If that doesn't hold, they could bring it lower to touch this 50 moving average. So just keep that in mind. Again, there is a gap at the top as well, 68.44, so they can do that as well. And Bitcoin, you can see here bouncing, but way below 200 moving average. So could be a dead cat bounce. One thing to note is BTC CME futures. Now they closed before this 200 moving average. So it could get rejected here on blue line and then continue lower. Okay, so there are gaps around 97K, 91,800. This is really not a good pattern. But one thing to note, one thing which bulls are doing a good job on weeklies, they're holding above these red and yellow lines. Okay, as long as we are below above that, you can see we had a wick here below that, and then they recovered, wick here and recovered. So they really need to recover and close the week, which is this Friday, above 103K. Okay, as long as they do that, I think we're still continuing the uptrend and going higher. But if they close a candle below that, which did not happen here, but if we close a candle below that, that could bring a significant downturn. You can see a close below these red and yellow candle, and then we just had a break test and then just went lower. So it's very important. We are at a very important and crucial stage on Bitcoin here. Wix is after 9 counts buy signal, just holding here, maybe a back test and continue to go higher as well. So just be careful. Still, we are not out of the woods yet. Gold is just bouncing around, not much, just going between white line and red and yellow lines. Okay, just bouncing around. On weekly, gold has major support here around 3300, 3400 area. Okay, so that's the area eventually we will find buyers to bounce. Crude oil, you can see daily chart of crude oil. You can see we had uh, still not able to close above these 50 SMA and EMA. Okay, if we go lower, that's a good support area. But if you want to trade crude oil, you would need an indicator like this, and you want to wait for crude oil to go back in the buy zone, which we are very close to. So crude oil could be a good buy here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay. Um, what else? Let's keep an Ethereum. Similar story. Below all moving averages could be a back test before we go lower. Ethereum futures, CME futures, still not fill this gap 3062. So could be getting rejected and coming back to fill some of these more gaps. So just be careful there. In terms of stock, Tesla is trying to bounce, but again, the multiple gaps and they are not yet filled. If you go to 1 hour chart, you can see all these gaps, they're still not filled. Okay, this gap is not fully filled. Um, yeah, so this gap around 443 and then around 434. So around 434 will be a good area to buy, and that's a drop of about from where we closed about 2%. All right. So keep that in mind. Nvidia just trying to bounce, but again, the same story, a gap up and multiple gaps down. Still, I think more ways to go down Nvidia. Facebook also trying to bounce. I still don't have buy signal here, but there's this big gap here. Probably they're gonna go fill that at some point. So we're still not out of the woods on the tech guys. I just want to be careful here. So just keep an eye on these gaps on Nasdaq. Apart from that, dollar is breaking out in front of some resistance. So let's see if it stops here and go down. That's going to help Bitcoin and gold. But if it continues to go higher, then that's going to be bearish for Bitcoin and gold. Palantir was down significantly after overblown earnings estimate. Big gap left. Eventually it will be filled, but still many gaps to go lower as well. Shopify also was rejected below all moving averages. Could come back to fill this gap at 158. If that doesn't hold, it could come even lower. Suncor had earnings, but only up 1%. So we'll see which way they want to take this. CP Rail is giving a buy signal. Just wanted to show you 9 counts buy signal yesterday, but chart looks really bearish. Could get a dead cat bounce. So keep that in mind. Okay, guys, I'm going to keep it short today. So just keep an eye on the levels I said, and also this chart here. If you want to know more about this chart, subscribe to my channel. Link is in the description. You can go to buy whenever it goes to buy, look to buy, and MES also wait. So around 1.2% will take, let's say if it is flat, to about uh, this zone here, around second standard deviation. So that's where you should be looking to go long if you really want to go long. Gold still is high, and crude oil is another one you can go. Bitcoin is going higher. Again, look to buy below 100, 968. Okay, guys, take care.